Welcome to Channel 8 News with lead anchors Josh Lamert and Alec Gerald. Dan Dunleavy with the weather. And Brennan Ritter with sports.
Good afternoon. I'm Josh Lamert, and this is my fellow co-anchor, Alec Gerald. Among today's top stories, shootings in a churchyard in Colorado Springs leave 5 dead and 4 others wounded. Authorities believe that this shooting may be connected to an earlier gun crime in Arvada, Colorado.
The Iowa caucuses were a resounding success. Over 347,000 people attended from both political parties combined. Former Governor Mike Huckabee won the Republican side, while Barack Obama won a decisive victory over former Senator John Edwards and Hillary Clinton for the Democrats. On the East Coast, the New Hampshire primary named Hillary Clinton and John McCain as its choice for the political nomination.
Barack Obama gets a huge boost in his bid for presidential nominee as John Kerry publicly endorses him at South Carolina's College of Charleston. This is a blow for John Edwards' campaign, as this announcement was made in his own backyard. Kerry believes that Obama is the most likely candidate to unite the country as one nation.
Bill Richardson has officially ended his presidential bid for the 2008 election. The turnouts of his voters was a disappointing 2% in Iowa and only 5% in New Hampshire.
Turning to international news. The UN recently announced that it does not have the required troops and equipment to bring peace to Darfur. Sources say that this problem will not be able to be dealt with until sometime in the middle of the year. In the meantime, the region will most likely remain in a state of crisis as the genocide continues. In Britain, thousands of people have been getting sick from a norovirus, most commonly known as a stomach bug. Dozens of hospital wards were forced to close in an attempt to quarantine the virus. It has been reported that over 200,000 people have fallen ill as a direct result, most of whom have complained of vomiting and diarrhea.
An Air Canada plane experienced extreme turbulence while making a flight from Victoria, British Columbia to Toronto. 88 people were on the plane at the time of the incident. Only 9 people were injured.
President Bush said that there would be a peace treaty between Israel and Palestine by the time he left office. He stated that both countries need to understand the importance of democratic governments working together. A suicide bombing in Pakistan killed 24 people yesterday. This is the first major attack after the assassination of Benazir Bhutto. This causes more conflict between Musharraf and Bhutto's supporters. Bhutto was killed in a suicide bombing December 27th of last year.
Next we'll turn to Dan Dunleavy, who says there might be more of the white stuff on the ground soon. Stay tuned for the local 7-day outlook coming right after this commercial break.
Gosh, it's so bright in here. Just, oh, ow, God. Would you turn off that light? It's not gonna be a good day. Or is it? Jim's toothpaste. That was swell. Jim's toothpaste, available at your local retail store. Results may vary.
Welcome back. We now turn to the weather report.
Hi, I'm Dan Dunleavy. Let's take a look at our national weather. There were a record number of tornadoes stretching from Washington State to the lower Midwest. The number of tornadoes reportedly beat the previous January record set in 1950. Now moving on to local weather. Dense fog on January 7th caused a multi-vehicular accident west of Dubuque. Highway 20 going east to Dubuque was forced to close after the incident. Luckily, we won't have any more dense fog. However, scattered flurries are expected shortly, followed by partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 20s and lows in the single digits. It's going to be cold, so it'll be a good time to stay inside.
Thanks, Dan. Now it's time for the movie review of the week with our own Alec Gerald. Alec?
This week, I reviewed the Warner Brother film I Am Legend, directed by the talented Francis Lawrence. In 2009, a cure for the cancer was discovered. and was praised as a breakthrough in medicine. However, soon after, the cure became a terrible virus. The virus can be contracted through the air or through bodily fluids. Dr. Robert Neville has been working on a cure for the virus, which he seems to be oddly immune to. The movie didn't explain very well why he was immune. In fact, only a few lines of dialogue were used to cover this gaping hole in the plot. The people not killed by the virus became infected zombie creatures and will feed on anything that moves, including Neville. We fast forward to 2012, and he and his dog are living in New York and fending for themselves and still working hard to create a cure. He spends at least half of the movie like this. Will Smith is great in this movie, and if the film, based on Richard Matheson's book, had a better script, it would have been amazing. There were moments that were cliché and overused. At times it was even corny. The movie would have been better sticking with vampires. I give this movie 2.5 stars. Here's what a local moviegoer thought of the movie.
It looked a lot better than it actually was, so I was pretty disappointed in the quality, but overall it's still a pretty decent movie.
I thought that it was a little jumpier and more of a horror movie than they advertised it to be.
I don't really recommend anyone seeing it.
Thank you. Switching gears now, we'll move on to the Our Community segment.
Thanks, Josh. This week in the Our Community segment, we've had the opportunity to interview Tom Stevens, who has a unique passion for creating stained glass artwork, such as you see here.